UFOs, demonic activity, and elaborate hoaxes meant to deceive mankind. Written by Brother Michael Dimond. From The Observer, December 8, 2021, quote, "This 54-page tract, written by Brother Michael Dimond of the Most Holy Family Monastery, is little more than a pamphlet with a glossy cover, but the author uses the limited space to dive deeply into the subject matter and its religious implications. The work's overall message is familiar. Dimond agrees that a number of reported UFOs have no rational explanation, perform impossible maneuvers, and generally thumb their noses at the established laws of physics. They show up in photographs when they feel like it, change size or shape in front of people, instantly appear and disappear, and display the ability to pass through physical objects. These behaviors led him to conclude that UFOs are a spiritual phenomenon and not part of the physical world. Instead of quoting chapter and verse from the Bible to make his case, Dimond tailors his message to the UFO crowd. The book's bibliography suggests an impressive shelf of UFO-related texts, and Dimond lists hundreds of citations containing classic material. He starts by citing Flying Saucer Review's editor, Gordon Creighton, a prominent UFO investigator and author who doubted the interstellar nature of extraterrestrials. There seems to be no evidence yet that any of these craft or beings originate from outer space. The great bulk of these phenomena are what is called satanic. Dimond goes on to quote from a trinity of important UFO researchers to support his conclusion that anomalous aerial vehicles aren't tangible nuts and bolts craft. He draws from the work of Jacques Vallée, J. Allen Hynek, and John Keel, explaining how each one evolved their answers to the UFO question over time, eventually gravitating toward interdimensional theories instead of aliens from another planet. Vallée came to reject the extraterrestrial hypothesis after decades of data-driven research. He entertained the idea of extra-dimensional malevolent trickster entities as the progenitors of UFOs, writing in Messengers of Deception that the mysterious visitors were helping to create a new form of belief, realization of that age-old dream, salvation from above. This depiction is exactly why some Christian faith systems believe that UFOs are harbingers of Christ's return. Alien saviors arriving with a new religion sounds a lot like various warnings found in the Bible about the end of days. In the latter times, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. UFO investigator John Keel was also skeptical about the concrete nature of UFOs, calling them transmogrification of energy and not permanent constructions of matter. After identifying other instances of supernatural high strangeness occurring alongside UFO sightings, he came to suspect that witnesses weren't observing spaceships from another galaxy. Keel felt that an extra-dimensional presence was responsible, speculating that modern encounters might be minor variations of the age-old demonological phenomenon. Some Christian scholars argue that the gray beings associated with UFOs are just Lucifer's attempt to create life. Dr. J. Allen Hynek expressed similar beliefs about the reality of unidentified flying objects after spending years running down UFO reports for the U.S. Air Force Project Blue Book. He concluded that there was an unknown force contributing to the confusion. It seems clear to most of us that UFOs don't obey the rules of present-day scientific game. All these things seem to call for a paraphysics, a metaphysics of a transcendental physics. Dimond also puts forth unique connections between common UFO experiences and the biblical Satan. He compares abduction scars to the mark of the beast, a symbol that the Bible claims will be given to non-believers in the end times. He also points out how reptilian ETs are reminiscent of the devil's serpent form. He later compares the Greys to demonic entities, noting how both are reputed to emit a foul odor. Dimond includes Whitley Strieber's depiction of the beings from his book, Communion, emphasizing how Strieber wrestled with the idea that his communion was with demonic entities rather than ETs. Unsurprisingly to Dimond, Strieber claimed the Greys also smelled bad, like sulfur. Bigfoot allegedly stinks too, but that's another pamphlet. Rather than classify every abduction or close encounters as evidence of a cosmic battle between good and evil, the author portrays a large number of UFO sightings as misidentified natural objects or human-inspired hoaxes. A substantial portion of his treatise is devoted to a thorough debunking of the 1975 Travis Walton abduction case. He spends 11 of the book's 54 pages deconstructing Walton's narrative of being taken by alien beings in front of witnesses. Unlike author D.M. Pottinger, who believed that Walton was taken by demonic entities posing as aliens, Dimond exposes the event as a lie contrived for money. The Roswell UFO crash is likewise dismissed as nothing more than a weather balloon that went down in the desert. Dimond peppers his retelling with damaging quotes from Air Force investigator Jesse Marcel, one of the first people to handle wreckage recovered from the crashed object, who told the Fort Worth Star-Telegram that he had mostly collected patches of tinfoil and rubber while scouring the area for the weather device. Dimond blames Roswell's pop culture appeal on ET believer Stanton Friedman, claiming if Friedman hadn't interviewed Marcel 30 years after the fact, the public would never have known about the incident at Roswell. Cattle mutilations, MJ-12, Nazca lines, Area 51, alien autopsies, crop circles, they're all con jobs or purposefully misintentions, according to Brother Dimond. Even though he assigns terrestrial causes to purported paranormal incidents and rejects a majority of sightings as earthbound or man-made hoaxes, the author comes around to the same conclusion as many other Christian writers. UFOs are false apparitions produced by Satan. Unquote. This is Norio Hayakawa in Albuquerque, New Mexico.